interview this show at some point soon.
Let's see if I can squeeze by with this goat here.
We have a very small studio, and you should see this. He's about to run over his banjo with an office chair. And, Rick, if you'd like, we could put you out in the hallway.
Nah, that's all right. Let's see what we... Now, you can explain what this looks like as I'm kind of trying to get ready here.
Yeah, he has a special little pad on his elbow that looks like the things that masons strap on their knees. And it's got a bellows like you're going to go get the fire going in the wood stove. And you keep going up. There's a tube going up into the body of a dead goat.
And you can see that the goat still has all the hair still attached.
Yes,
now,
indeed.
in some villages, I play a couple different varieties of these Polish bagpipes. Some of them actually have a carved wooden goat's head with horns that sits at the top. And one leg fits into the bellows, and the other leg fits into the drone. And so where the carved head would be, or the chanter, fits right where the head of the goat was. Are you ready, huh? Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Ukwola kuczmorowano, ukwola kuczmorowano, kuźniczka, kuźniczka, a za kuźna z kowaliczkiem Zuzyczka. Kuźniczka, kuźniczka, a za kuźna z kowaliczkiem Zuzyczka. Ho!
.7 WNEC, and that's a dead goat. Actually, what would the title of that particular piece be?
Well, that was a medley of a couple of different pipe tunes. The first one was a sort of a song that was basically played when the sheep were out in the meadows. And it was a song for just watching the sheep. There are a lot of different songs that they have about that. And the other one was a dance tune. And finally, the last one was a love song about a girl who's lamenting over her love who's a wood chopper. Kuźniczka is the wood chopper, so it's a song of the wood chopper.
How old are those songs?
Old, old, old songs, hundreds and hundreds of years. You know, and the neat thing, Jonathan, was when I lived in Poland back in 1984, this was a time before the changes, and everything was frozen in time. People didn't have cars over there. A lot of time we had to walk miles and miles to get to a bus stop, and in the wintertime we had horse-drawn sleighs, and you could hear the bells jingling throughout the countryside. And a lot of people got around by cross-country skiing. That's how I would get around. I put my banjo on my back and ski down the hills and go visit people. Of course, all of that's changed now since the walls came down. Everything is a free market economy, and people associate the old times with the old music. And we're sort of at that time where some of the music is kind of hibernating. And this is pretty common in this type of folk music. Is sometimes songs go underground for a while,
right,
and then perhaps the children of some of the people will start picking them up. There are still some people carrying on the traditions, but it's not as strong as it used to be.
Well, it's good that we have you.
Well, you know, it's kind of a fun thing for me to carry on a little bit of my Polish heritage, and I can't believe sometimes all the places that I've played these pipes. Last year I played over at Donald Trump's Taj Mahal over in Atlantic City for
wow,
40,000 Polish Americans. Did shows over in Milwaukee, and did interviews with NBC and CBS and Fox 22. And I think it's really great that people are getting a chance to see this instrument and hear it, so that they can tell their children that they saw an instrument like this. Because before I went to Poland, hardly anybody was playing it in this country. Now there are a few people who have been getting some pipes and taking a whack at it and trying to learn how to play. And I spent some time with people across the country. I encouraged them, if they were a musician, or sometimes they were already Scottish bagpipers that wanted to learn a little bit about the Polish culture, and I would tell them where to get the pipes and keep those people in business, and teach them a little bit of what I was taught over there.
Very interesting. And one other thing that's interesting about this, you're used to seeing the Celtic pipes being blown into. But this is with the bellows. I've never seen anything like that.
Of course, the Irish bagpipes is the same type of thing. There's a lot of different bagpipes that
That's
use
right,
the bellow
yeah,
technology.
okay.
But the nice thing about a lot of the Polish songs from Istebna, where I lived, is that they're sung with the bagpipe, the way that I was just doing that. You know, you're singing in a way where, you know, you can play the bagpipes along and sing at the same time, which is harder to do when you're trying to blow it up with your mouth.
Sure, yeah.
There's a technique that we use in the mountains of Poland. Sometimes I like to just sing it without an instrument. So what I'm going to do is give you an idea of that, because I'm sure that your listeners haven't heard too much of this type of music. Before I jump back into some familiar things, this type of music is a love song. And when I learned the music in Poland, it wasn't learned out of a book, but it was learned out of life. We recreated every song. My teacher was very, very... he was almost like a philosopher in a way. He was very into really living each song. So sometimes if we were learning a song about the darkness of the night, he would wake me up in the middle of the night, and we'd go walking out into the mountains, and we would just be out there in the pitch dark learning a song about the darkness of the night. Or if it was a song about the way that the rivers flow through the valley, we'd go over and sit next to the river, and we'd learn the song right there. And this particular song, he got some of the young kids to dress up and actually pantomime what this song was about.